In this video we're going to look at predictive programming, and we're going to look at the predictive programming in a song called Turn Down for What. We're going to have a look at the video because the video clearly predicts current events and it has clear predictive programming. Now the piece of music was made by DJ Snake, so DJ Snake is an obvious reference to the Serpent and secret societies, and this DJ Snake is a Frenchman and he's an obvious Secret Service agent. Okay, so let's have a look at this video, and what we'll find is that we have a Chinese man standing on top of a building in what looks like a Chinese city. So we see the Chinese man, and suddenly he catches a virus and starts dancing madly. So he starts shaking and he starts dancing in a very provocative way. And remember the first images of what we saw last year from China and how people were collapsing. So he starts shaking, he falls through the ceiling, and he bumps into an Indian girl and then contaminates her with this dancing virus. Now in the media we have a thing called the Delta variant, which was originally from India. And what you see in this video is that the Chinese man in the video, who has this dancing type virus, spreads it to everybody else. And the first person he spreads it to is an Indian woman. And so she starts going crazy, and then they start dancing. Notice he is going crazy on a TV screen, and the TV is an important mind control device, which people believe. So he starts going crazy and having fits, very similar to what we saw last year. This record was made in 2013, and he phones the police melts down. So you can clearly see it's death, and what happens now is that he has an erection constantly throughout the video, and we know that a certain secret society worship the obelisk, which is a erect penis. So he cannot control himself, and the woman is throwing stuff at him. As she hits him, a crucifix crashes around his chest, from his chest, what looks like a crucifix. Now, look at this scene. So he does what looks like a macabre dance. So in Europe you have the tradition of the dance macabre. Also in the film I Pet Goat 2 you have an Asian woman doing kind of the dance of death. Notice there is a demonic figure here behind the Indian girl with two horns and a tail and some kind of stick. You have like a demonic illustration. Now here you have what looks like a dog kissing the Chinese man's backside. Here. So in one of my videos I described how it was a tradition in Freemasonry that you kissed a dog which was a pug's backside, and here it seems like the dog is positioned near the backside of the Chinese man, and in Satanism you kiss the devil's backside. There we go. The TV has been a major thing of convincing people around the world. And then they fall through the ceiling and they look like fallen angels, and then they contaminate the people downstairs who look like they are from Brazil. And if you think about it, you've had the Indian, the Brazil and other variants which have now changed into Delta and so forth. So everybody gets contaminated with this dance virus, and the clock, one hand points to 11 and the other to 2, so there's some kind of symbol here with the clock. So the woman starts dancing as well, and everybody So the woman starts dancing, everybody becomes contaminated. Notice you have an owl here, so you have the owl of secret societies. You also, what you have here is something which looks like the crown of the sun, if you understand what I mean, and also on her top you also have like a crown of the sun flower, which looks very similar to something which we can see today. And so you have the owl here, and she then is contaminated with the dance virus. There's the owl, there's the sun-like image there, and she also has it on her top here. So they all start dancing. Now watch this. You have stacks of toilet paper and towels. And do you remember during the beginning of this crisis everybody was shopping for toilet towels and paper, and you couldn't find them anywhere in the shops, and here you have like a stack of toilet tissues here behind this Asian girl. And so what it looks like is all nationalities are being contaminated with this dance virus. And then they crash through the ceilings like fallen angels. And they contaminate everybody at the party, and they start dancing. And notice that it's gone, they represent all the nationalities of the world. So they start going crazy. Remember, these are scenes which we've seen reported over the last year. He's dancing on toilet paper. So the Chinese man is dancing on toilet paper. Here comes the police to restore order. In the last year we've had lots of police involvement. And then he gets contaminated. And then it goes to a man who's sleeping. It goes towards a man who's sleeping. Notice that there's lots of lights and light shades in this video, which probably represents Lucifer. And there's a man sleeping, and then next to the man you have what looks like a beer which has been covered up. Its branding has been covered up, and we know that what's happened in the last year is also the name of a famous beer. And we have what looks like a pharmaceutical product here, which I think looks like this. So these are face masks. Or what the video shows us is that the sleep happens after this man has had this pharmaceutical product. So maybe you could give me some information on this. I cannot make it out visibly because it looks blurred in the video. And then when it goes towards the rest of the room, when the video pans to the rest of the room, all the people are asleep or dead. Is this predictive programming about what is going to happen this year and in the early next year? The song is called Turn Down for What? The lyrics are, fire up that loud, another round of shots, turn down for what? So it's saying, why are you turning down the shots? And we know what is referred to as the shot. We have the masks, we have the director called Daniel Scheinert, and Daniel Scheinert and the Asian man I think are actually partners, and their film company is funded in Israel. So their film company is actually an Israeli creation, and they quote that the twerping epidemic eventually infects the entire building. This is what their description about the video is, and what I've shown is that it seems to show some kind of virus that infects the world, and then at the end of it everybody is asleep. Thank you.